Hey guys, Jay here, and in this video today I want to share with you guys another leveling setup, and this time as a druid. And as you can see, I am even embracing the in-game character by sharing the same pretty much outfit minus the mask. And trust me, I wear the same pant as this down below. And anyway, this leveling setup in particular is super satisfying. Very satisfying. And everything that we do is pretty much roam around, see a pack, pop a Pulverize that will obliterate everything, and then we move along. And cause a lot of explosion along the way. And as you can see here, it is super fast, super smooth, right? Especially for Helltide and also for Nightmare Dungeon if you want to do one, and feel free. You can also see that I have zero spirit problem. Hey. Oh shit, the game lag. This one is a Malignant Heart. Yep. So I better get it. But as you can see there, hey, very satisfying. Massive AoE, and of course, massive damage. By the way, this is not just a leveling setup. If you want to, you can totally, bring this build into the end game, and it is a overpowered pulverized build. And I will share with you my setup. I'm not the only one out there who's doing it. It is quite obvious, to be honest. And but other people I see, most of them kind of share, the end game version. It's pretty powerful. So far, the highest number that I have seen on YouTube is 500 million, which is half a billion. And that is respectable damage. It is an overpower, and it is a crit. And as you can see here, the leveling setup, the leveling process, the monster killing feels super satisfying. Let me actually, do a little bit more of just killing normally to see, kind of the rotation that I am doing on Helltides, which is the majority of the leveling process. As you can see here, if you are CC, press the Earthen Bulwark to get unstoppable, and yeah, here, look at this, the big mouth thingy, and we just slam once, and I think that's pretty much very satisfying. And yeah, super comfortable. Most of the time you use a Pulverize, and then you use a Trample, which is a movement skill to get around a little bit faster if you don't want to, jump on your horses and, just run around all the time. This is the way to go, in my opinion. I have been enjoying this kind of playstyle as, hey, look at this, right? Super clean. And even if, some more is left, because we have the aspect of the volatile blood orb, so you can see the little, black and red orb on the ground here. It just clean up everything whenever you walk through it, because it has such a massive AoE as well. Look at this. Look at it. Super satisfying again. And that is enough of me, ranting about how good this build felt. I need to get to town, so things get a little cozier, and there's no monster around to actually screw the character up when I explain things. Right, and here we are back in Rashad. The core of this build is surrounding this skill here, Pulverize. So I'll talk a little bit about the skill tree first. Of course, we take 1 point into, Maul here, or, Wind Shear. I have to mention I do not level up with this setup from level 1 because from level 1 actually is not the best thing. The best thing for, you know, very, very low level should be wind shear with the poison aspect. And of course, why don't we go to this one? I'll show you the poison, the aspect that make wind shear poison, and it is in resources, aspect of the calm breeze. Wind shear now deals poison damage. And by the way, if you look at this, you will see that I have the minimum roll on this aspect. It is what it is, but it still absolutely crushed everything in the early game. And I would like to say I switched to the current setup with Pulverize from probably around level 30. Before that, I use Wind Shear, and sometimes I use Pulverize because I cannot really solve the mana problem early on, or the spirit problem early on. But right now, it's all good. As you have just seen in the showcase in Helltides that I just did. Of course, we take full Pulverize, right? The first part is not important. Second part, core skill, we take 5 points into Pulverize, enhance Pulverize, so we guaranteed overpower every 12 seconds. Raging Pulverize, so Pulverize deal 30% more overpower damage. This is a multiplier, and then enemies overpowered by Pulverize are stunned for 3 seconds. And this is super important because we always, most of the time, we overpower with the Pulverize, which is the main skill. And since overpowered with Pulverize stun, it triggered the restore up to 9 primary resource here. I used it on amulet, so it's 9. You can use it on a ring, is 6, but I'm lazy to change stuff around, and I deals enough damage right now, so I've not changed it back on. And so that is the reason why I choose the upgrade for Pulverize as it is right now. It's synergy really well. We have no spirit problem, no resource problem. We deals overpowered damage all the time. In the progress, I would like to say I come down here and I get Earthen Bulwark, get Unstoppable, and then just get the 45 for some extra tankiness. I did not get the passive. I will come back and get the passives later. And then we come down here, get the Wolves, and then get the Raven, upgrade the Raven into +2 Raven. So right now we have 2 Wolves and 3 Raven. The reason why is we are using this aspect over here, core and grass skill. We majority of the time we use Pulverize, which is the core skill. Your core skill will have up to 10% damage per companion that you have. Right now I am having 3 Raven, 2 Wolves, that is 5. And right now in the game is counting the doggo that we have as a free pet, or the cat, whatever skin you have, if you have 1 additional pet, right? It counts as actually an extra companion for this particular aspect. And so we can have potentially right now at the minimum, at the maximum roll, we will have 60% more damage because it's the multiplier. And right now, because I no longer have any resource problem, I can always take Poison Creeper, can just remove more from the skill bar because I don't use it at all. Just get Poison Creeper, we have an additional 10% more multiplier from the aspect. And the Poison Creeper is actually a pretty nice skill, right? Because it stuns the enemies, it poisons them, and poison actually have something to do down here. So here, from that moment, whenever I take this, right, when we get to Wrath skill, this is the first passive that I am going to prioritize getting, and it's Provocation. So you have an additional counter of guaranteed overpower, also 12 seconds, and basically you are having on average 1 overpower every 6 seconds if you time your attack right. Because when you're leveling, technically you are not spamming the skill all the time because you have so much damage from the overpower. You just slam once, you clear a whole pack, and then you move along a little, and then you clear another pack. That is the way that we are playing this setup, and these two work so well together. They do not proc at the same attack, so you don't have to worry that you waste them both if they are both, get the cooldown done at the same moment. So it will always be two overpower separated hits, and so you don't need to worry about that. That is the second overpower. And then we get Trample. Trample here, I will go to Enhanced Trample and then Savage Trample. This help with energy, with spirit generation. Whenever you fight like a single target, you don't CC them enough, there's not enough target nearby. This can help you to regain energy when you need it. And it feels just very smooth. Of course, in the end game, this might not be enough when you fight like tougher bosses. You may need another sources of energy regeneration. But for now, for the leveling setup, this has been more than enough. Super smooth in terms of resources. It solved all the problem that we can potentially have. All of it. And yeah. Other than that, whenever you can reach the level, reach the progress to get the key passive, take Ursine Strength here. We are almost exclusively all the time a werebear. And we will always get the bonus of maximum life. And sometimes when we get cast skill, we will change form, and with switching back and forth, we will have the bonus from all the time, basically. Always have the health, always have the damage while healthy, because we have a lot of fortification. We have some barriers sometimes. We are decently tanky. So most of the time, as you see while I was playing, we are healthy. We have 30% multiplier damage here, and then an additional 30% increase of power damage, which is also additional multiplier. Very, very nice. Other than that, the passives that I have, I would go through it a little. So yeah, these 2 points, I will not explain it. You know what they are, so just get it, right? Explain it will take way too much time. The resistance here, 3 points to clarity here. This is just for bossing, for more crit chance on bossing, pretty much. So basically, we can basically guarantee a crit with additional crit chance from the gear and other sources, of course. And so you use a companion skill, and then you pulverize, and it will pretty much all the time crit. This 1 point travel into this for crit damage against poison enemy. Poison enemy, you can have multiple sources, and of course one of them can be the poison creeper. Crushing Earth, 1 point travel right here, right now. I think I will take 2 more points. I will, maybe right now I don't need the 40 spirit anymore, right? So I don't need this as well. I can take a point into this. And now we have an additional multiplier for Earth skill. I will explain why it is helpful. Critical strike with Earth skill fortify you for an amount. And then fortify over 50% life. Your Earth skill has 12% damage. I also take this one, increase amount of fortify from all sources and gain damage reduction. So we are extra tanky. Let's go to the Paragon board quickly. So the first board, take all the rare notes. Let me remove the key here. The glyph that I'm using here is Earth critical strike damage and critical strike chance. And of course, you gain bonus lucky hit chance as well. Second board, I choose Earthen Devastation for more damage, more crit. Just get the glyph, get the key passive, and then travel to the next board. Here I also have some additional resistances here. Maybe I will fill out some of the resistance point here if needed. Next board, I choose Constricting Tendril. This is an extra layer of crowd control. And then also it is a source of poisoning. So we gain the benefit from poisoned enemy without having to press any button. This will be up like a lot of the time, and it will feel nice, pretty much. The glyph I'm using here is vulnerable glyph, so we always vulnerable enemies whenever we first hit it. And while leveling, because we one-shot everything, so the hit will always vulnerable the enemy anyway. It is not a cooldown like global cooldown. It is a cooldown on the target that you hit, so you will always have vulnerable on your target all the time. Graph the damage, nature damage here is earth is included, so damage to crowd control, maximum life, and then the next board I am planning to have is ancestral guidance. We will always be spending a lot of resources and gaining them back, even though you don't see the resource, go down, but we spend and we regain, so we will always be spending, and we will have this 30% multiplier damage up a lot of the time. And of course, I am moving toward it. And then, of course, I will move towards the glyph. The potential next board, I'm not sure what it is right now, but it's gonna be a werebear, the werebear board. Okay, what else should I mention? Oh, this is very important, the spirit boon. So right here, because we are still leveling, I am taking the movement speed and impair reduction. I can imagine that we might take wariness for reduced damage from elite. Yeah, because we don't need thorn, and we also don't need more maximum spirit. We spend and we regain, so maximum spirit actually doesn't do anything here. So probably if you want to push harder content, this is going to be the final option that you take. But for leveling, just take the movement speed, you move faster, you go around faster, and you level up faster. You die, even if you die sometime, it doesn't matter, right? Unless you are in hardcore. Next one is going to be the eagle boon, and we are going to bond with the eagle, so we can take two things from here. I chose maximum life here and attack speed. Technically, you can do attack speed and crit damage if you want to have the maximum amount of damage. However, I don't think we need it, at least for the moment. Later, if you want to push the absolute highest number that you have, you can take the critical strike. The attack speed, it just feels nicer because the animation is a little bit faster. Later, I will switch this character into a different build, so maybe I will take a different build. But for here, for now, I think attack speed and maximum life is the ultimate one. Here, well, this actually, we don't really need anything from here because we don't use ultimate skill, the chance to reset cooldown, your companion skill. Currently, I am doing this, but I'm not even using them that much. But hey, it's an extra thing. Maybe it's helpful. Last but not least, the Obsidian Slam. This is very, very, very strong, because as you can see, the area of effect that we are having with the Pulverize, it's absolute massive. And if we hit a large pack of monster, pretty much every single 10 enemies that we kill will just get the next kill to be overpowered. So we will overpower like almost 100% of the time if we play, accordingly. And it's not even hard. It's just running around. When you see a big enough pack of monsters, you pop them. It will always overpower. And it will pop everything that requires an overpower. And of course, the damage is massive. Alright. The gear. This is the last part. So I will mention the unique first. This is probably, I would recommend you to use this one, but it's not mandatory. This is the Insatiable Fury. It does give some overpowered damage, some defensive stat, some damage. But the unique one is give your werebear skills 3 ranks, and is applied to all werebear skill, of course, including and most importantly Pulverize. And yeah, level 2 skill is just a lot of damage, and I would recommend you to have it. If you don't, any rare chest with random aspect for defense will be nice. Okay, the most important, other than that, I am using a unique here, but it technically doesn't do anything right now. It's just a stat stick for the moment. right now, the most important aspect I would say is this one. The Pulverize creates shockwave that travel forward, dealing 164%. It can be up to 200%, so double the damage. So basically, when you Pulverize, you slam the ground with a circle in front of your character. That deals 100% of the damage. And then the waves that travel forward, it is hitting massive area in front of you, and it deals double that amount of damage from the initial slam. So literally, if you put this one on a two-handed weapon like I do here, it is triple the amount of damage for Pulverize. So this is absolutely mandatory. And more damage, more area of effect, super good. Next one I want to mention is on this ring. Pulverize is now a Earth skill. The second part doesn't really matter. It's just some extra damage over time effect after we slam, but normally we don't even need that. But making it an Earth skill allow me to use, when you have fortified, your Earth skill grant 2 ranks plus 2 here. So yeah, if you see here, the Pulverize is not only a core skill and a shape shifting anymore, and by default it is shape shifting, werebear, and core. Now it is also Earth, and because it is Earth, it is also nature. So level of Earth skill apply to the Pulverize over here, and of course we have 5 ranks, 3 from here, 2 from here. Very, very nice, right? And we have a lot of extra damage. The next one, honorable mention. This might not be useful in endgame. Maybe it is useful in the pit if we try to speed farm and clear the monster faster. This can be very useful. But for leveling especially, this one is super nice. And it is the corrupted, no, it's the volatile blood drop, right? So it's just a lot of, little red and black orb on the ground. You know what, let's just go outside and find some monster, and then I can show you what it is. It should be better. Maybe you already noticed the orbs when you see the beginning of this video, right? Yep, those are the orbs, and as you can see, they do a absolute tremendous amount of job when it comes to cleaning up the fight. If you miss some of the monster that happen to be around the edges of the area, they do not get hit by the initial hit, like here, right? There's still these monsters, right? All right, now they're dead. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that satisfying as shit? I really like this aspect. Sadly, it's not really practical in boss fights, because the strength of this one is it actually spawns more than 3 orbs, because it is 3 orbs per target hit. If it is in a boss fight without any extra adds nearby, it would just spawn 3, sad little orbs that literally do teeny tiny amount of damage. It does do damage, but the scaling is not there for it to do, significant enough damage. So if you have an extra slot, you can put it, but to be fair, I put it here because I'm leveling and I don't need more damage. I just need cleanup. It feels nicer, so I put it here. There's a lot of extra more damage multiplier you can have from the aspect. That will be more helpful in the end game. Okay, we have covered these 3. This one is for energy, is for spirit recovery, which take care of the spirit, as I already mentioned. Next one, this one is just a basic whatever. I did not even set up the defensive aspect that much, because I am using 2 unique in the 2 defensive slot, and then the pen slot I am using the basic attack grant damage reduction. Normally I don't even use this anymore. If I remove this, I would just play the same, right? It can be the poison creeper here, so just any defensive aspect as you see fit here. I trust that you can do it. The last one, right, we already mentioned in the companion section in the passage tree, but It's just the most amount of more multiplier that you can have from an aspect from this, except for this one, except for Pulverize. It's literally triple the damage, but this one have up to right now 70% additional, which is super nice. And yeah, other than that, I think, okay, for the gear, right, what you look for is probably just primarily stat. Movement speed on boots is super nice because leveling speed is king for leveling. Overpowered damage, uh, life, resistance, crit. Crit chance is probably better than crit damage because with we kind of like consistency, right? Right here, right now, I am not having a lot of it, but hey, we still have extra from this, right? We still have some extra crit from this one. We still have some extra crit from this one. And that is additional crit. And on average right now, I would say my crit chance effectively on a nearby target after I use a Raven or Wolf skill, just use a companion skill, right? After I use a companion skill, I would say my crit chance is around 70%. That is good enough for leveling. Very, very sad gear, bad gear. And we have that amount of crit, that is respectable. And I think that is everything I want to share in this video today. Let's just get back to town so we don't get our asses whooped. And, you know, thanks so much for watching, especially, you know, if you watched until the end of this video. And if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It does help me immensely. And yeah, see you in the next video. I am planning to play basically, this is the first season that I play Diablo, so Diablo 4. So I am trying to play all the classes and try to mess around and see, you know, cool builds. Pretty much, I don't really care about pushing the end game that hard. Right now, what is in my mind, and probably is going to be in the next video as well, is going to be playing around with this one, right? Dolmen Stone. So casting Boulder while Hurricane is active will cause your boulder to rotate around. First of all, I got this one in a very, very, very low level, and I used it, and it is dog shit. Because the boulder skill, right, has a cooldown. So technically you cannot spam it. You have a 10-second cooldown boulder and then a 20-second cooldown hurricane. You turn on the hurricane and then you can have maximum 2 boulders, which sucks. And I don't understand why it even exists until very recently. I discovered this, right? I got a gear drop that has this particular aspect, and it all, you know, it all comes together. I'm not so far I don't see a lot of people playing with this in the open war. I don't see anyone running around with this kind of setup. Maybe it's not a good build. However, it looks very fun to me. If I can spam, you know, unlimited amount of boulders. Well, technically you can spam 10, but if I have 10 boulders continuously, constantly, you know, spinning around me, that'll be very cool. What else am I going to use with that? I do have something pretty. Oh yeah, sorry, not this, not the shop. Okay, this is going to be used with Nature's Fury, right? So Earth skill have 35% chance to trigger a free Storm skill of the same category. And because the Earth skill, which is the boulder, it is a rush skill, you can trigger Hurricane, and then of course, because it is transformed into a core skill, so you can also trigger a lot of shit from the core skills. So I'm not sure which the end setup is going to be, because with the Shaco, which is the only Uber unique that I have from the 5 sparks that I level 5 characters and do the Wolf Clan questline something. I crafted a shackle, and it gives 4 ranks to all skill. And this kind of thing, when you can trigger multiple skills while using one single skill, I think this potentially can be, you know, somewhat cool, maybe strong, hopefully strong. So yeah, that is everything I want to share with you with this video today. It has been long enough, and again, thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Peace. Oh, by the way, I have a bunch of links in the description. Twitch, I'm not streaming regularly right now, but maybe someday I will, and there will be like announcement for it. But it'll be streaming to Twitch, and then Discord, and what is it? Patreon. I just have it. I don't think anyone care so far, but yeah, it's for the future, right? Peace.